Hello, and welcome to Chakra Balancing for Weight Loss, a podcast where we explore how the chakra system can help you change your mind, to change your body, to change your life. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. It is episode 4, Sacral Chakra Basics. A lot of people find that their biggest imbalance with regards to weight loss is right here. In fact, I was just talking to a woman online a few days ago who lost 30 pounds when she started doing sacral chakra meditations and focusing. She didn't change anything else intentionally, like she didn't start a diet or exercise program. This is the thing, when you start to find balance in your chakras, your behavior starts to change. And while you might notice that your behavior has changed, it isn't really an effort on your part. You just notice, oh, the things I used to do, I'm not doing anymore. The things that I didn't used to do, I am doing. I'm making better choices because you're energetically balanced and aligned. So this is a very exciting one. Listen up. The name of the sacral chakra in Sanskrit is Svadhisthana. It's located 2 inches below the navel, the upper part of the sacrum, the first lumbar vertebra. It is associated with the color orange and the element of water. The sacral chakra's location, much like the root chakra, connects it to the reproductive system. The sacral chakra, though, is associated with the adrenal glands. Those glands are responsible for producing the hormones adrenaline and cortisol, among others. Now, you might have heard of these. They're frequently called the stress hormones, and imbalances in these hormones can be heavily responsible for our inability to lose weight. Unsurprisingly, the sacral nerve plexus is near the sacral chakra, and it provides sensory and motor nerves for the legs and hips. Again, that's just like the root chakra. These 2 chakras are located pretty close together, and they work together for our survival. The sacral chakra is the second survival chakra. So once our basic needs for survival are met, we can start thinking about other things. How do we feel? What are our interactions with others? Reproduction, connecting to other people in ways that allow us and them not just to survive it, but to begin to thrive. Associated issues with the sacral chakra: relationships, addictions, reproduction, creativity, joy, enthusiasm, play, flow, preservation, exploration, serenity, emotions, sensitivity. Now, if we have done the work of the root chakra and started to feel the strength and stability in our authentic selves, we can begin to preserve that sense of self as we engage with others, rather than losing ourselves into relationships or the desire for approval before we start creating ourselves in a way that we think will please others. It's not a good strategy. Abandoning our authentic self to make other people happy rarely works. So it's no surprise that this chakra relates to our relationships and creativity. This is the part of our body that literally creates life. And this chakra is the seat of our impulses to relate and to procreate. Now, one thing about that, you might not have an impulse to procreate. That does not mean anything is wrong with you or with your chakra. Nothing about this energy system says we all have to have identical impulses. Some people will, some people won't. It's all normal and good, but that is part of the chakra for some people. Some people have that procreation, reproductive impulse within their chakra. Others don't. Just so that we are clear on that. The flip side of this chakra is found in addictions. Addictions can be to food, to sex, alcohol, anything that you can have an addiction to. You'll find the correlation in your sacral chakra. It's also related to suspicion, self-destruction. So obviously a food addiction can lead to weight gain. I think we can say with confidence that overeating is the number 1 cause of unwanted weight. And an out of balance sacral chakra can make it very hard to let go of the addiction. Usually the addiction is to the sugar or the salt found in processed diets, not to food itself. I don't want to get too deep into the science of food products or foodstuffs, but some of our processed foods that we have so readily available are designed in a lab to stop your body from understanding that it doesn't need or want more. It's the reason we can sit down with a bag of chips or cookies and eat the whole thing without even really realizing what we've done. Have you ever done that? I legit could sit down with a bag of Doritos, a family-sized bag of Doritos, and eat the whole thing and not even feel full. Not even a little bit. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Not terribly proud of it. I wish I hadn't, but when you've got an imbalance in the sacral chakra, sometimes you're trying to fill up with these things that will never fill you. I mean, no one I know has ever sat down with a bag of apples and mindlessly consumed 4 or 6 or 8 apples without realizing it. Yes, apples have sugar, sure, but the natural state of the food and your body's ability to recognize the nutrients in it is a built-in stop overeating mechanism. All right, so that's sort of where the addiction component comes in, the addiction to food in the sacral chakra. If your chakra is overactive and your adrenal glands are constantly pumping out stress hormones, you will never be able to let go of your excess weight. Your body can't tell the difference between a stressful famine, meaning that it's important to keep weight on or put more weight on, or a looming deadline that's stressing you out. We live in a world of constant information, news, things coming at you on the internet, on Facebook, articles, from the radio, whatever, all this information coming into our brains, and it's very stressful to try to process all of that. So your body is trying to keep up, and it's continually giving you this steady stream of these stress hormones, raising the level of them in your blood so that they're always there instead of ever returning to a baseline normal. We're all living in this sort of heightened state of awareness all the time. And our bodies think in that way because those hormones are telling our bodies that it needs to maintain the weight. We need to maintain the status quo. Things could go wrong at any minute. So we need to be sure that we've got what we need in case there's no more food available. So if your goal is to lose pounds, that is not helpful to have all those stress hormones floating around. Another possible block or inactivity can be if you're feeling creatively stifled or unfulfilled. Don't be surprised if you have trouble losing weight. Feeling unhappy with our creative outlets frequently causes overeating. For different reasons than the sugar and the salt addiction. Overeating in this case is likely an attempt to hide our feelings of discomfort from ourselves. If you are not putting out into the world through art or expression of your feelings or creating a project, anything that fulfills you creatively, you may find that your sacral chakra reacts by starting to close up and not allowing the energy through because you're not creatively fulfilled. And so a lot of times we'll eat so we don't have to feel feelings of discomfort. That is some serious sacral chakra business. Your feelings are there either from your life, whatever's happening in your life, all of the stress or these creative blocks. Your feelings are there, and the chakra is doing what it does. It gives us the negative or positive emotions. And when we acknowledge those emotions and process them, they are so important to the human experience. You are a human living on this planet. You have the right to feel every feeling. Some of those feelings are uncomfortable. Sometimes we feel bad. So we eat. And stay with me, but sometimes even positive feelings we want to eat away. Sometimes that can be a self-worth issue. People will say to me, how can I feel this much joy? feel this much love, this much happiness. Am I worth that? Yeah, I feel great right now, but just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so we eat. And creating a nice flow in this chakra can be instrumental to preparing your body, preparing your mind to lose the unwanted pounds. Balance the sacral chakra, and you'll be amazed at what comes up. The things that you will learn about yourself and why you're doing what you're doing will surprise you and impress you and ultimately heal you. What are your feelings? What are your feelings about yourself? What are your feelings about your relationships? What is your purpose in life? How do you feel about your purpose in life? Are you reaching toward that purpose creatively? Are you protecting and preserving that authentic self that you found in your root chakra? Or have you turned away from it in favor of creating a persona for other people? These are questions you have to ask yourself if you've got an imbalance in the sacral chakra. These can be major blocks towards reaching what you want to have in your life. At the other end of the scale, maybe your imbalance is that you're driven too much by your emotions. When you have a feeling, you dive right in and wallow around in it for a while. Even if it's a feeling you don't like. If you're sad, do you just feel the saddest? Do you think yourself deeper and deeper into despair? Do you dwell on your negative feelings? Do you replay negative thoughts in your head over and over and over again until you believe that they are true and that the feelings that they cause, the misery that those negative thoughts cause, is the only feeling you'll ever feel again? This is totally me sometimes, by the way, especially if I am not keeping my chakras balanced. If I feel angry at a person or a situation, I'll just put it on repeat in my head, repeating the conversation or the situation over and over again until I totally lose sight of what is true and what isn't. Until I can no longer remember really what happened, what the reality of the situation is. Only that downward spiral, farther and farther down, deeper into the negativity of my sacral chakra. And then potato chips seem like a great idea. Or maybe another glass or two of wine. Right? And some of us do both. We eat our feelings away, and then we also sit in those feelings, and it just causes us to eat more and more and more because we're not either acknowledging those feelings or we're sitting too deeply into those feelings. We can fall into these self-destructive behaviors because our energetic body isn't balanced, and then neither is our physical body. That is a bad combo for weight loss for sure. But listen, you have the right to feel without anyone telling you that your emotions are wrong or too much. But you can find balance in a way that allows you to live the strong, healthy life that you are looking for. You can find that balance. It is right there in your sacral chakra available to you. As you start to learn to balance that second chakra, explore your emotions without denying them or letting them sweep you away. Start to preserve your sense of self. Start to create relationships. Learn how to have relationships without losing yourself in the relationship or conversely trying to dominate the relationship. Understand, play with your own creations, your own personal creations on this earth. What are you putting out into the world, into the universe? As you can start to balance all of these things in your sacral chakra, you will find that you are less stressed and your body and mind are so much better prepared to lose your unwanted weight. How do we do that? How do we start to balance the sacral chakra? I love moving meditations. I think they work particularly well for balancing the sacral chakra. One of my favorites, dancing. It's amazing, especially if you just do it at home by yourself, put on some music you love, turn off the lights, don't look in a mirror, and just move your body. Physically move your body however feels fun and right and interesting. Disregard any of the voices in your head that tell you look silly. They might show up, or they might join the party. It's hard to say. But don't think about how well you dance. Just think about moving your body to some music. Anything that you love will do. It's amazing. Try it. You might discover that you like it. If you'd like to try something else first, I'm going to take you through an easy movement pattern with some deep breathing and visualization exercises. On a mat or a blanket, get into a hands and knees position. If that's not possible for you today, feel free to do this seated or lying down. You'll have to modify the movement slightly, but the intention can remain the same. Take an inhale through your nose, and as you exhale, drop your chin to your chest, drop the tailbone toward the floor, round the back up, and feel the stretch in the spine. As you inhale, lift the tailbone toward the ceiling, drop the belly toward the floor, and lift your heart so it faces forward. Your gaze might follow up toward the sky. Do this a few times, really focusing on connecting the breath with each movement. Keep breathing. Let your hips drop straight back towards your heels, reaching the arms out in front of you on the floor. Then let the hips circle over to the right while the hands stay in place. Move the hips forward, around to the front, and over to the left. Remembering to breathe slowly, deeply, and fully. Return the hips to the back of the circle and continue the movement. Let your body move easily and naturally in this circular pattern, several times in one direction, and then switch. If it's comfortable, close your eyes and imagine that your pelvic bowl, the space between your hip bones, is filled with water that flows smoothly and powerfully with your hips. Imagine that the water shines with a warm orange light that glows and fills the area with love and calm. Keep breathing. When the movement feels complete, either sit your hips all the way back onto your heels once again and relax the head to the ground, or lie on your back for just a few more minutes, allowing yourself to fully absorb your newfound peace. Done regularly, this meditation can physically and energetically unblock dysfunction in the sacral chakra. If stress eating is a problem for you, rebalancing your adrenal glands in response to stress hormones can create a world of change. Take a few more deep breaths. Thanks for listening. I always appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with me and spending some time on your chakra system. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Chakra Balancing for Weight Loss, and Facebook, same thing. And you can always reach out to me at chakrabalancingforweightloss@gmail.com if you want to get in touch. Have a great day. Bye.